Gunfreak Nation. I'm the president, TElectrik, and once again, you know, I got to be the bearer of bad news. You know, on my police scanner app, you know, it was a report of another home invasion, man. And I read in an article the other day, it was a home invasion. This time on the east side, you know, it was a female. You know, she lived by herself, and savages went up in her house, broke up in her house while she was there, and she was violated. I would like to think that one day this type of, you know, evil, you know, will stop, but it's not going to stop. The only way, the way I figure, the only way it can be stopped, that it will stop, is when people stop having that mindset that they don't need to be armed. You know, that's the only way it's going to be stopped. The only person that can protect you, the best form of protection against these savages are you. You are the first line of defense. You need to be the first line of defense. Now, this young lady was attacked in her own home. And the crazy thing is, it happened in broad daylight. Most people think that home invasions only occur at nighttime. No, it has got so bad that it can go down any time of the day. It ain't just about it being, you know, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning when they trying to catch you sleep. They so brazen, these savages, they are so brazen that they coming in broad daylight. And it's a shame that we living in a society where neighbors don't have each other's back anymore. I've seen, you know, and heard of situations where people know somebody's house getting broken in, or a home invasion happening, or something violent going down. They don't even bother to, you know, pick up the phone and dial 911 to report it. You on your own. I remember a situation years ago where a savage got mad and his girlfriend accused her of cheating with another woman, and that's a story I gotta tell you. And the neighbors, from what I was told, watched this savage drag this woman into a field and finish her off with a golf club, and nobody bothered to call the police. And that's sad. It's sad in the community that we have this code thing, a street code, no snitching, no calling the cops. And you wonder why crime is at an all-time high. Because you got foolery like this. You got idiots like that want to live by this no snitch code, or, you know, it don't concern me. It's none of my business. I'm not going to get involved. So I'm not going to pick up the phone and dial 911. That'll make me a snitch. And it just makes no sense. It makes no sense. I'm not telling, I would never, ever recommend somebody getting in the middle of it physically, you know, because you don't know, at that point, you would be putting your life potentially in danger. I understand that if you do not want to get involved physically, but there's nothing stopping you from picking up that phone and dialing 911 to report it. But a lot of people got the mentality, well, I don't want to be no snitch. I'm not a snitch, and I'm minding my own business. But guess what? Maybe, I guarantee you, you would feel differently if that was your mother, if that was your daughter, if that was your sister, if that was your loved one. And people just sat around and watched. And then you'll be like, well, wow, why didn't anyone call the police? It's never fun when it's on your doorstep, when it's knocking at your door, you know. And we got this silly so-called ignorant ghetto code, no snitching. That's what the police is for. And because of you got idiots that's got that mindset, criminals get a pass, man. They can pretty much do anything they want. Now, this young lady was violated. And it's, you know, it's two things that deeply trouble me, that deeply bothers me. Two things I hate to see. Number one, I hate to see children, a kid, harmed by a sicko. And the second that I hate to see is a woman, you know, violated, beat on, attacked. That's the worst of the worst, if you ask me. That's the worst of the worst. So I just want to do this video, like, if you are a woman and you live by yourself, whether it's in an apartment, whether it's a home, and you at home and you hear your door being, you know, kicked in, excuse me, you hearing your door being kicked in, what are you going to do? Especially if you don't have a firearm. I want y'all to think long and hard. I need y'all to think long and hard about that scenario. Baby, I have a question for you. If you were in your own home and you know you're single, well, single or your relationship status really don't have anything to do with it. You're alone, you in your home, you live alone, and somebody is kicking in your door or coming through your window and you don't have a firearm. What would be your next move?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because if you don't have nothing to protect yourself, you're left vulnerable. You don't know what that criminal coming in with. You don't know what his intentions is.
Okay.
So you don't have nothing to protect yourself. You're kind of in a bad situation. Not kind of, you are.
You're in a bad situation.
Very bad situation.
And what would go through your mind when you hear this person? I mean, what would you do though? You hear, like right now, you hearing your door being kicked in, your window smashed out, and they don't gain entry. What would be your move? What would you do?
I would say if I didn't have a firearm, I would try to find anything I could use for a weapon, a knife, whatever, and I would hide. Because what else could you do if you don't have nothing to protect yourself? So
you would be frantically looking for some sort of weapon to defend yourself, and you would be hiding. And 9 out of 10, that savage that's breaking in, he's already armed with the firearm. So no matter what weapon you try to find, you're not going to, you're going to be, you know, you're not going to stand a chance. Bat, knife, mace, taser, you name it. It don't stand a chance against an armed savage that's armed with an AR-15, armed with a Glock, armed with a firearm. You're not going to stand a chance. So if you heard someone kicking in and they coming in, you say you would look for some type of weapon and hide. But what would be the next thing you would do, though?
I mean, I would call 911, but what good is they gonna do? Because what are you gonna do to protect yourself in between time before they get there?
Okay, my thoughts on that would be, and I totally get it, because if somebody coming in, they ain't gonna take their time coming in. Once when them savages gain entry, they own you like that. Especially if the intended target is you. See, a lot of people have this notion that, you know, they want to come in and rob you and just take your valuables. That's so 60s and 70s, and even homicides was going on even back then. Look at Charles Manson and them, all of the break-ins that they did, where they was going in and murdering people, torturing people. You know, look at the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, you know, in LA. He was breaking in people, you know, homes and you know, attacking them, assaulting them, you know, raping, killing. You know what I'm saying? So it's been happening. It's just right now, in these times, it seems that particular savage wants to come in and just have total control over you and do whatever he wants to do to you. Sexually violate you. It don't matter. So you were absolutely right when you were like, oh, let me try to find something and let me hide and let me dial 911, and you hope that the police get there in time. So I just want to paint that scenario in y'all head, like, and I'm talking to you women out here, the females, right? In that situation, it's dire. It's dire. The adrenaline, you panicking. You don't know what the savage intentions are. You don't know whether this may be the last moments of your life. So, you know what could help you even the fight? If you were to go out and buy you a firearm. And not just buy one just to say you got one, but to buy one and actually utilize it. Buy one and actually train with it. You know, actually go to the gun range. Shoot it. Train with it. Learn it to the point to where you're comfortable with it. It's all about training. At the end of the day, it's two components that's very important. Number one, your mindset. Number two is your, being comfortable with it. And, those two are hand in hand, okay? It intertwines. Because you can have a gun and know how to, shoot it, but do you have the will to do it? Because for some people, it's not easy to point that weapon at another human being and be willing to pull the trigger. A lot of people panic and don't want to do it, don't want to take a life for whatever reason. They don't want to do it. I've seen cases where women have had firearms and these savages break in on them and they didn't have it in them to pull that trigger, and they got raped. They got murdered because they couldn't with their own gun. So you got to be willing to have that mentality hey, at this point, you have crossed the line by breaking into my space, my home. And I've told you to leave, and you refuse to leave. So at this point, it's either you or me. And I don't want it to be me. I'll shoot first and ask questions later when the meat wagon is picking you up. That's the mentality that you must have. Okay? And I'm going to give y'all some tips. Get an alarm system. Get the Ring. That's the most inexpensive that you can get. You got, with the Ring, you have a camera. So you can see what's going around your house. You can get multiples. You can get one for the front door, one for the side door, one for the back door. Whichever door, 2 doors you have, whatever, you can mount a Ring doorbell camera on it. So you have a camera where you can see in real time. Inside of that camera, inside of that Ring, not only do you have a video camera where you can watch it live, but you also have a motion detector, which is a sensor. So anything that breaches the perimeter that you set around your property or your apartment or whatever, whatever that breaches that perimeter, it's going to go off. It's going to be a chime or some type of sound that would alert you that it's somebody close by. Okay? Number 3. The third feature is that it has night vision, where you can see at nighttime. You can see in the dark. Okay? Number 4, it's got a built-in intercom where you can talk to the person using your phone. You can see them and then talk to them. You ain't even got to be at home. But once they ring that doorbell, or when the perimeter has been violated, once they breach that perimeter, you're going to receive that alarm, that alert. And if they ring your doorbell, see, some of these savages like to ring your doorbell first to see if somebody's home. So if they ring that doorbell, you can get on your phone. You can be 10 miles away, and you can talk to them and be like, well, I can't come, for whatever you want. I'm not, I don't want no parts of it. Go away. Get off my property. And you ain't even got to be there. So, and then, one of the paid features of it, I'm not a spokesman. I'm not getting paid to endorse the Ring. But what I do care about is y'all well-being, of y'all being safe, man. You got to protect yourself at all times. So that's just one of the devices. You don't have to go through Ring. It's other similar products out there, camera systems out there that basically does the same thing. But I myself have Ring and other, cameras. One more thing, fortify your windows, okay? Make sure that your windows are locked. Even if you have to get, bars or something installed on them. Make sure can't nobody just, open your window, pry your window open, And another one is have your door, like your bedroom door, make sure you have a lock on it. Make sure that it is fortified. I would put like a master lock on it, so if somebody's trying to break in while you sleep, they're going to have hell getting that door open, without waking you up. And that's why I highly prefer you have a firearm, because if they try to catch you sleep, and they trying to kick your door in, they can't just yank it open because it's been reinforced. That gives you time to get to your gun. And when they make entry, send them to Funky Town. Send them to Funky Town. It's a true life crime that happened that I'm gonna talk about in the near future, where this teacher was attacked. And they kicked in her bedroom door, and they ended up murdering her, man. And it just made me think, wow, she didn't have a gun to protect herself. So, the only way you're going to stand a chance is getting that gun to defend your life. And I think your life is so precious. I think your life is so valuable. I think you deserve that chance at life. I don't think you should be victimized. I don't think you should be abused. I don't think you should be violently attacked. I think you should be able to stand on your own 2 feet and be able to defend yourself, be able to defend your loved ones, your kids. It's not right. And you definitely don't need to be depending on 911 to send the police, because they arrive in minutes when seconds matter. Women, I love y'all. But in today's society, these savages, they look at y'all as a easy target. Y'all are a soft target to a savage, especially if you are living alone. If you're living by yourself, man. So if y'all watching this, you happen to be a female and you do live by yourself, and I mean this is just life in general. These savages don't give a damn if you do have a man, a live-in, a boyfriend or a husband, and y'all just are family. They don't care. It happens to them as well. But it's just something about a woman being alone and she don't have a gun to, a firearm to protect herself. Don't make it easy for them. Please don't. Go out and arm yourself. And don't worry about somebody else's opinion. What you buying a gun for? What you need that for? They ignorant. They don't know what's going on in this world right now. So I'm hoping that this video here resonate with somebody, with a woman that's living by herself, and just just put yourself in that situation. Look what she just said. If she didn't have a firearm and somebody kicking in the door, she basically at that savage's mercy. And nowadays they got cell phone jammers that will block your signal to even being able to use your phone. They have gotten so clever. They pull your meter so you don't have any power. They're trying to knock your Wi-Fi out by, pulling your electrical meter. They come up with all kind of clever ways to try to get the drop on you, to put you at a disadvantage. But I'm telling you, by you not having a firearm, you are already at a disadvantage. You never want to be in a disadvantage. You just don't. So I need y'all to imagine, like, what would you do? Do you really want to be in a situation where you begging a savage for, to spare your life? Do you really want to be in a situation where he can do whatever he wants to do with you, and once he, got the drop on you and basically the gun to your head, what can you do? Especially if you want to live. But nowadays, even if you do comply, they still end your life. They still take your life because they don't like to leave behind witnesses. We living in a cold, cold, wicked world. We living in a world where you have to fight fire with fire. You know, you can pray on it all you want to. But while you praying, he is going to be having his way with you. You know, it's just sick and pure evil. And that evil needs to be put down. You know, so I'm hoping and praying that I've changed somebody's mindset, man. And, you know, don't be no victim. Don't be a sheep. Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. Stand up, stand tall, be proud of yourself, and love yourself and love your loved ones enough to be like, hey, my life is too valuable, it's too precious, it's priceless, and I want to live as long as I can live. I don't want to be, I don't want my life to be shortcutted because I wasn't prepared to deal with a savage. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all, Gun Freak Nation. You know, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. You know, become part of the Gun Freak Nation. Hit that membership. Join. Become a member. You know, y'all the best. But I'm just so tired of you know, hearing about home invasions. I really am. I'm so tired, but guess what? It's never going to end. But if everybody get armed, you can put a stop to it. And not be, you know, I'm not just talking about a firearm. You got to be armed and ready. It starts here first. This is the true weapon. Your firearm is just merely a tool. Okay? Remember that. The number one weapon is right here. The mindset. You got to be savage ready against these demons. Gun Freak Nation, I love y'all. Listen. Y'all stay armed. Stay responsible with your firearms. Stay righteous. And be ready to send that funky savage to funky time. I love you, Gun Freak Nation. Salute.